All right. Hi, class. Mrs. Dunbar and Mrs. Millett's class. How I miss you and how I wish we were sharing this book together. But hey, guess what? Mrs. Millett is now a YouTuber. Aren't you proud of me? It's been a crazy week planning everything out. I hope you are enjoying the time with your families. But know that I miss you terribly. This is not the way that I wanted our next 5 weeks to go, but we're going to make the best of it. We are leaders and we can do hard things and we can figure things out together. So just be patient. If you have questions, there's ways to get a hold of me. Email me, dojo message me, have your parents do the same. We're trying to make things as easy as they can. I do want to tell you during these read alouds, I am at home in my bedroom. I do have a family, so hopefully all stays quiet and calm, but occasionally there may be some outside noises or a knock at the door, but we'll just go with it, kind of like distractions at your house or even at school. But I'm super excited to share this book. It's called Wishtree by Katherine Applegate. If you are able to get a copy of this book, that's fantastic. You can follow along. You can read it on your own. I've really enjoyed reading this. It was my first time reading this book. We'll be doing some activities and different things with the book. But if you're not able to get the book, I will be bringing you 2 read-alouds each week. Look for those and the activities that go with them. I hope you enjoy it. So, Wishtree by Katherine Applegate. Today, according to your choice board, this will be part 1, which is pages 1 through 18. Great book. Great book. Loving it. So let's just go. It's hard to talk to trees. We're not big on chit-chat. That's not to say we can't do amazing things. Things you'll probably never do. Cradle downy outlets, steady flimsy tree forts, photosynthesize. But talk to people, not so much. And just try to get a tree to tell a good joke. Trees do talk to some folks, the ones we know we can trust. We talk to daredevil squirrels, we talk to hardworking worms, we talk to flashy butterflies and bashful moths. Birds, they're delightful. Frogs, grumpy but good-hearted. Snakes, terrible gossips. Trees, never met a tree I didn't like. Well, okay, there is that sycamore down at the corner, yakety yak, that one. So, do we ever talk to people? Actually talk? That most people-y of people skills? Good question. Trees have a rather complicated relationship with people after all. One minute you're hugging us, the next minute you're turning us into tables and tongue depressors. Perhaps you're wondering why the fact that trees talk wasn't covered in science class during those Mother Nature is our friend lessons. Don't blame your teachers. They probably don't know that trees can talk. Most people don't. Nonetheless, if you find yourself standing near a particularly friendly looking tree on a particularly lucky feeling day, it can't hurt to listen up. Trees can't tell jokes, but we certainly can tell stories. And if all you hear is the whisper of leaves, don't worry. Most trees are introverts at heart. I know some of those vocabulary words are words you're looking up this week. Name's Red, by the way. Maybe we've met? Oak tree near the elementary school. Big, but not too big. Sweet shade in the summer. Fine color in the fall. I am proud to say that I'm a northern red oak, also known as Quercus ruba. Red oaks are one of the most common trees in North America. In my neighborhood alone, hundreds upon hundreds of us are weaving our roots into the soil like kittens on a mission. I have rigidy, reddish-gray bark, leathery leaves with pointed lobes, stubborn, searching roots, and if I do say so myself, the best fall color on the street. Red doesn't begin to do me justice. Come October, I look like I'm ablaze. It's a miracle the fire department doesn't try to hose me down every autumn. You might be surprised to learn that all red oaks are named red. Likewise, all sugar maples are called sugar, all junipers called juniper, and all boojum trees are called boojum. That's how it is in the tree world. We don't need names to tell one another apart. Imagine a classroom where every child is named Melvin. Imagine the poor teacher trying to take attendance each morning. It's a good thing trees don't go to school. Of course, there are exceptions to the name rule. Somewhere in Los Angeles, there's a palm tree who insists on being called Karma, but you know how Californians can be. My friends call me Red, and you can too. But for a long time in the neighborhood, people have called me the Wishtree. There's a reason for this, and it goes way back to when I wasn't much more than a tiny seed with higher aspirations. Long story. Every year, on the first day of May, people came from all over town to adorn me with scraps of paper, tags, bits of scrap, fabric, snippets of yarn, and the occasional gym sock, each offering representing a dream, a desire, a longing. Whether draped, tossed, or tied with a bow, they're all hopes for something better. Wish trees have a long and honorable history going back centuries. There are many in Ireland where they are usually hawthorns or the occasional ash tree, but you can find wish trees all over the world. For the most part, people are kind when they visit me. They seem to understand that a tight knot might keep me from growing the way I need to grow. They are gentle with my new leaves, careful with my exposed roots. After people write their hope on a rag or a piece of paper, they tie it onto my branches. Usually they whisper the wish aloud. It's traditional to wish on the 1st of May, but people stop by throughout the year. My, oh my, the things I have heard. I wish for a flying skateboard. I wish for a world without war. I wish for a week without clouds. I wish for the world's biggest candy bar. I wish for an A on my geography test. I wish Miss G and Tony weren't so grumpy in the morning. I wish my gerbil could talk. I wish my dad would get better. I wish I weren't hungry sometimes. I wish I weren't so lonely. I wish I knew what to wish for. So many wishes, grand and goofy, selfish and sweet. It's an honor, all the hopes bestowed upon my tired old limbs. Although, by the end of May Day, I look sometimes like someone dumped a huge basket of trash on top of me. As you've probably noticed, I'm more talkative than most trees. This is new for me. I'm still getting the hang of it. Nonetheless, I've always known how to keep a secret. You have to be discreet when you're a wish tree. People tell trees all kinds of things. They know we'll listen. It's not like we have a choice. Besides, the more you listen, the more you learn. Bongo says I'm a busybody, and I suppose she has a point. She's my best pal, a crow I've known since she was nothing more than a pecking beak and a speckled egg. We disagree sometimes, but that is the way of all friends, no matter their species. I've seen many surprising friendships during my life. A pony and a toad, a red-tailed hawk and a white-footed mouse, a lilac bush and a monarch butterfly. All of them had disagreements from time to time. I think Bongo is too pessimistic for such a young bird. Bongo thinks I'm too optimistic for such an old tree. It's true. I am an optimist. I prefer to take the long view on life. Old as I am, I've seen both good and bad, but I've seen far more good than bad. So Bongo and I agree to disagree, and that's fine. We're very different after all. Bongo, for example, thinks the way we trees name ourselves is ridiculous. As is the custom with crows, Bongo chose her name after her first flight. It may be her only name, however. Crows may not be her only name, however. Crows change names on a whim. Bongo's cousin Gizmo has had 17 names. Sometimes crows adopt human names. I've seen more Joe Crows than I've seen sunny days. Sometimes they name themselves after things that catch their fancy. Pop Top, Jujubee, Dead Rat. They'll name themselves after aerobatic maneuvers, death spiral or barrel roll, or after colors, aubergine or beetle black. Many crows opt for sounds they're fond of making. Crows are excellent mimics. I've met crows named Wind Chime, 18-wheeler, and Grouchy Cab Driver, not to mention a few others that are not appropriate for polite company. Down the street lives an inspiring rock band composed of 4 middle schoolers. They practice in a garage. Their instruments include an accordion, a bass guitar, a tuba, and bongo drums. The band has yet to perform outside the garage, but Bongo loves to sit on the roof and sway to their music. Names aren't the only way we differ from crows. Some trees are male and some are female, and some, like me, are both. It's confusing, as is so often with the case with nature. Call me she, call me he, anything will work. Over the years, I've learned that botanists, those lucky souls who study the lives of plants all day, call some trees, such as hollies and willows, dioecious, which means they have separate male and female trees. Lots of other trees, like me, are called monoecious. That's just a fancy way of saying that on the same plant you'll find separate male and female flowers. It is also evidence that trees have far more interesting lives than you sometimes give us credit for. That is the end of section 1. I hope you are enjoying the book. Keep enjoying. Come back again to hear section 1.2 of Wishtree. See you later.